Today, I want to talk to you about something that can change the way you look at success, your life, and your future. Now, I know we all have dreams, big ambitions, and lofty goals. But how often do we stop to think about the steps we're taking to achieve them? Are we rushing toward our dreams with mindless haste, or are we thoughtful in our approach? In the pursuit of success, there's one thing I've learned: being thoughtful is not a weakness. In fact, it's one of the greatest strengths you can cultivate. But being thoughtful, that doesn't mean being lazy. It's not enough to just sit back and hope for things to happen. Success doesn't come to those who wait passively. No, it comes to those who think deeply and act with intention. Think about it. Have you ever wondered, am I truly being thoughtful in the choices I make every day? Or are you simply reacting, moving from one task to the next without really considering the outcome? This, my friends, is the difference between those who succeed and those who simply drift through life. Today, we're going to explore how being thoughtful, but not lazy, is the secret to unlocking the future you desire. So, I ask you, are you ready to make the changes that will take you from where you are to where you want to be? Think carefully, because this journey starts with one simple but powerful decision, and that decision is yours. Let's dive in. Let me ask you something. How often do you stop to think before you act? We live in a world that's always in a hurry. Everything is about speed. Social media moves in seconds. Deadlines are closer than ever, and everyone around us seems to be rushing towards something. Anything. But here's the truth: hustle without thought leads to exhaustion. But hustle with thought leads to growth. It's so easy to get caught up in the noise of the world, to believe that success is about doing more and doing it faster. But I've learned that success is not a race. It's a journey. And the journey begins with thought. Let me remind you, success is predictable. It's not about luck, and it's certainly not magic. Success is the result of clear decisions, careful planning, and deliberate action. But none of that can happen unless you take the time to think. I want you to pause for a moment and consider this. Where are you headed in life? Do you have a clear vision of where you want to go? Or are you just moving through the motions, reacting to whatever comes your way? Being thoughtful means understanding where you're going. It means taking a step back and asking, is this the right direction? You see, many people are busy, but few are truly productive. They do a lot, but they don't accomplish much because they're not being thoughtful about the actions they're taking. It's like building a house without a blueprint. The work might be getting done, but there's no structure, no plan, no foundation. Here's the thing: your success begins with your thoughts. If you think about what you want, if you visualize your success, and if you create a plan that aligns with your goals, then you will naturally move toward that vision. It's not about doing everything at once. It's about doing the right things with purpose. Ask yourself, when was the last time you paused to think deeply about the direction you're heading? Being thoughtful is not about being passive. It's about being intentional. It's about recognizing that your actions, no matter how small, create the trajectory of your life. I want you to remember this. Success is not just about working hard. It's about working smart. Thoughtfulness allows you to work smart. It allows you to invest your time and energy in what truly matters. And when you do that, you can't help but see progress. So I challenge you today, take a moment. Stop, think, and ask yourself, what is the next step I need to take in order to reach my goals? Because success is not for those who rush. It's for those who plan, who reflect, and who take thoughtful action day in and day out. Now, let me ask you, what small change can you make today to become more thoughtful in your approach to success? Pause and think about it. Because your future starts with the decisions you make today. Let me ask you a question. What's the cost of doing nothing? It's easy to think that inaction doesn't have a price. After all, we tell ourselves, I'm not failing. I'm just waiting for the right moment. But let me tell you something. Waiting is a decision, and it's often the most costly one you'll ever make. You see, inaction doesn't just mean you're standing still. It means you're letting time slip away. It means you're missing opportunities. It means you're letting the future you dream about pass by day after day without taking a single step toward it. Here's what's at stake: time. And you can never get that back. When you do nothing, you're letting the clock tick without progress. Every minute you spend waiting for the perfect moment is a minute wasted. Let me put it this way: success doesn't wait for you to be ready. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to take that first step. It's like standing at the edge of a pool, telling yourself you'll jump once the water is warmer or the moment feels right. But the truth is, the moment rarely feels right. You have to create that moment. You have to make the decision, and you have to act. I want you to think about this. What's the real cost of inaction in your life? Maybe you're thinking, I'm not ready yet, or I need more information. But here's the thing. You'll never be fully ready, and you'll never have all the answers. That's the beauty of life. It's a journey of learning, growing, and adjusting as you go. The cost of inaction isn't just about missed opportunities. It's about the price of regret. It's about looking back one day and asking yourself, what if I had started sooner? I've seen too many people wait for the perfect conditions, only to find out that those conditions never came. And in the end, they realized that the only thing standing between them and their dreams was their own hesitation. So, I want to ask you again, what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for permission? For the perfect time? For a guarantee of success? Let me tell you something. There are no guarantees. Life doesn't give you a perfect blueprint, and success doesn't come with a checklist. But what it does offer is opportunity, right here, right now. So I urge you, don't let the cost of inaction become your greatest regret. The future you dream about begins with the actions you take today. Ask yourself, what's one thing I can do right now to move myself forward? Don't wait. Start now. Because every second you spend waiting is a second you'll never get back. Let me ask you a simple question. What good is a plan if you never take action on it? We've all heard the phrase, don't just stand there, do something. But let me offer you a different perspective. Don't just do something, stand there. What do I mean by that? Well, here's the key to success. There is a delicate balance between being thoughtful and being action-oriented. Too much thinking, and you'll find yourself paralyzed by overanalysis. Too much action, and you'll waste energy on things that don't matter. The magic lies somewhere in the middle. Let's be honest with each other. I've met a lot of people who are busy, but they're not productive. They wake up every day with good intentions. They do a lot of things, but they never seem to get anywhere. Why? Because they fail to ask the most important question. What is the right thing to do? And then, on the flip side, I've met people who spend so much time planning, researching, and thinking that they forget to actually move. They're constantly working on their blueprint, but never lay the foundation. Success doesn't come from one or the other. It's not about being stuck in thought, nor is it about rushing into action without any direction. It's about balancing both. You need to think before you act, but you must also act on your thoughts before they lose power. Think about this. When you take action without thought, you're like a ship without a rudder, moving, but not in any specific direction. On the other hand, if you think without acting, it's like having a treasure map, but never going to look for the treasure. So how do you find this balance? You start by asking yourself, what's the next step I need to take to move forward? And when you answer, take that step. Don't overthink it. Don't get bogged down in the details. Take action and then learn from that action. But here's the key. Don't forget to think first. Every step should be deliberate. Every action should be informed by your vision. If you've been spending too much time planning, it's time to move. And if you've been rushing ahead without a plan, it's time to slow down and think. Ask yourself, what's one thoughtful action I can take today to move toward my goal? It's the perfect balance. Thoughtful decisions followed by thoughtful actions. Because when you balance thoughtfulness with action, you're not just moving. You're moving in the right direction. You see, action alone can lead to burnout. Thought alone can lead to stagnation. But action fueled by thought, that's where you begin to build momentum. Where the journey from where you are to where you want to be becomes real. Now, let me ask you, where in your life can you bring more balance between thoughtfulness and action? Take that thought, and then take that first step. Because success isn't just about doing more. It's about doing the right things at the right time with the right amount of thought and action. And that's how you'll build the life you truly want. I want to ask you a powerful question. What are you afraid of? Maybe it's the fear of not being good enough. Maybe it's the fear of rejection, of judgment, or simply the fear that you might fail. I understand this fear. We all do. But here's something I've learned: fear is not your enemy. It's a signal. You see, most people avoid failure at all costs. They're terrified of it. So they stay in their comfort zones, never taking risks, never trying anything new, because they believe failure is the end of the road. They believe that failing means they're not good enough. But here's the truth: failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of success. If you want to achieve anything worthwhile in life, you have to come face to face with failure. It's an unavoidable part of the journey. You will fail. But what matters isn't the failure itself. It's how you respond to it. Let me share a thought with you. Success is built on a series of failures. The most successful people in the world have failed more times than they can count. They've stumbled, fallen, and gotten up again and again and again. And they didn't let those failures define them. Instead, they learned from them. The question is, will you let fear of failure keep you stuck? Or will you use that fear as fuel to move forward? Here's the thing: failure only becomes permanent when you quit. As long as you keep going, keep learning, and keep improving, failure is nothing more than a stepping stone on your path to success. Now I want you to think about this. What is the worst thing that can happen if you fail? If you try something new, take a risk, and things don't go as planned. The worst thing isn't that you'll never succeed. The worst thing is that you won't even try. The worst thing is that you'll let fear control your life. I want to share with you one of my favorite quotes. Don't let the fear of losing be greater than the excitement of winning. Because here's the secret to overcoming the fear of failure. Embrace it. Don't let it hold you back. Let failure teach you. Let it challenge you. Let it show you what you need to work on, and then use it to fuel your next step. Because every successful person you admire has been where you are right now. They've faced the same fears, they've experienced the same doubts, and they kept going. So, I ask you, what is one thing you've been avoiding because of the fear of failure? Take that step today. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for the fear to disappear. Take action despite the fear, because when you do, you'll learn, you'll grow, and you'll get closer to the success you've been dreaming about. Remember, failure is not the end. It's the beginning of your growth, your strength, and your ultimate success. So go ahead, take that leap, and when you fall, get back up and try again, because that's the path to greatness. Let me ask you a question. How do you build success? You might think it's about making a big move, taking a giant leap forward. But here's the truth. Success is built on consistency, not intensity. It's the small, everyday actions that create momentum. Let me explain what I mean by that. We all want success, but so often we expect it to happen quickly. We dream about big wins, instant results, and overnight success. But in reality, that's not how success works. Success comes from showing up, day after day, doing the work, even when you don't feel like it. I want to give you a simple truth. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be consistent. Consistency is the key to building momentum. It's about doing the little things over time, day after day, week after week, that eventually lead to massive results. It's like rolling a snowball down a hill. At first, it's small and slow. But as you continue to push it, it gets bigger faster and harder to stop. That's what consistency does for you. It builds momentum. Think about this for a moment. What small action can you take today that will lead to success tomorrow? Maybe it's reading a book for 15 minutes every day. Maybe it's exercising for 30 minutes. Maybe it's taking 10 minutes each morning to plan your day. These small actions may seem insignificant at first, but when you do them consistently, they add up. Here's the key to success. Success doesn't come from what you do every once in a while. It comes from what you do consistently. It's the habit of doing the right things over time that will get you to where you want to go. I want you to think about this. Where in your life can you build more consistency? Is it with your health, your career, your relationships? Whatever it is, you have the power to build momentum by showing up and doing the work, no matter how small the step. Don't wait for motivation. Motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. But consistency is something you can control. It's about committing to the process, not the result. Think about the people you admire, those who seem to have everything together, those who have achieved great things. You might think they're special, but the truth is, they're just like you. The only difference is they've committed to consistency. They've done the work day in and day out, and over time, that work turned into something extraordinary. So, I ask you again, what is one small action you can start today to build momentum toward your goals? It doesn't have to be huge. It just has to be consistent. Start small, but do it every single day. And soon, you'll find that momentum has built up, and you're closer to your goals than you ever imagined. Remember, success is not about making giant leaps. It's about taking consistent steps toward your goal every single day. Keep showing up. Keep doing the work. And watch as the momentum builds, carrying you to the success you desire.